Hi guys, welcome to my new biography series here on my YouTube channel. I wanted to do this bio series because of the success of our Rei Kawakubo episode here on the YouTube channel and wanted to start covering the most influential people in fashion, talking a little bit about their history and why they're so important to fashion right now. So first up is Phoebe Philo. I am obsessed with Phoebe. I've been in love with Phoebe since I met her years ago producing the Chloe show with her. And she has become one of the most influential women in fashion as the creative director and a partner in the Celine brand owned by LVMH. So Phoebe was born in 1973 in Paris to British parents and, ended up being raised in London. But, kind of having, I think it's interesting that she was born in Paris, considering she's worked for French houses the majority of her career. But something that I think is really interesting about what she's done at Celine is she insisted on having her whole studio move back to London, which I thought was really cool so she could really focus on her 3 kids and her life with her husband. So, she graduated from Central St. Martin's in 1996, and the next year she was appointed assistant fashion director with Stella McCartney at Chloe. So she was at Chloe pretty much with Stella from the beginning, and took over Chloe when Stella McCartney left to do her own brand under the Gucci group. That's when Tom Ford was still at the Gucci group. He had started bringing in all sorts of new designers. Tom Ford brought in Alexander McQueen. He brought over Balenciaga, and he did Stella McCartney as part of the Gucci group while he was there and in charge with his partner there. So, she really kind of took over Chloe. I came in after her second collection with KCD. I was working with KCD at the time, and I was one of the people who helped her produce her runway show. So I worked with her during fittings and castings and all those kind of looks process before the show. And I just fell in love with Phoebe because of her personal style. She was always wearing what Celine has become, which was really cool men's button-downs, really cool men's trousers, with a really awesome Adidas sneaker. And, and also how she thought about women and what she wanted to portray women as on her runway. And I always thought the thought process and her inspirations were always super, super inspiring for me. Her definition of a woman now, the powerful women and what has become a soft woman too at Celine, she just really redefined how women want to dress since she took over Celine in 2008. Now, it's interesting because not a lot of creative directors have stock in the company or on the board of directors, and she was really given carte blanche to do whatever she wanted with the Celine brand when LVMH asked her to come back. She took a break from Chloe in 2006 because of the pregnancy with her second child, decided she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom and take a couple years off. And I also think that that's something really rare that a lot of women don't do. A lot of women don't, especially when they're running a house like Chloe at the moment that was at the height of Chloe-ness and Phoebe Philo-ness, be able to step back and say, you know what, this is not how I want to work and live. I want to step back and be with my family while my kids are young, be with my husband in London. And just, I think that shows how much of a powerful woman she is in the fact that she had the balls to do that, and so many people don't. So I thought that was really, something that I look up to about her. Not to mention when she came back with Celine, she's kind of started redefining how women want to dress with really great basics and really simple and repetitive wardrobe choices for each collection that no one had been really doing. I mean, we kind of have gotten so washed up and obsessed with the ideas of references and having to change, the inspiration behind someone's collection, a designer's collection every freaking season. And now I feel like, with what Phoebe's done, people are kind of stepping away from reference and stepping away from having to change their entire lineup of clothing every season. And I do feel like Phoebe is someone who kind of stepped up and said, no, fuck that. I'm not going to change everything every season. It's going to be a slow progression. It's going to be a slow progression of what I want to wear as a woman in my own wardrobe. So, I do think that Phoebe does take a lot of inspiration from Rei Kawakubo, who I also think is the most powerful woman in fashion, other than Phoebe and Anna Wintour. But I feel like she does a more understandable, more easy version. Rei Kawakubo is a true artist, even though she would never call herself that. But Phoebe definitely does kind of see her role at Celine as creative director at Celine is to completely portray life how she wants it to be as a woman who buys luxury things and goods. And her husband's an art dealer. Like, she's grown up, her mom was a graphic designer and art dealer in, you know, the 70s, and her mom was actually the graphic designer who created the Aladdin Sane cover for David Bowie. So she's grown up with, you know, influential artistic parents, and kind of been able to reestablish what that means to her as she has, like, come into her own in her own family. So, I mean, I think, you know, she still has a lot of playfulness in Celine. I love the fact that she doesn't talk about references. I love the fact that she does what she wants. And, you know, I think that Phoebe will be a major force in fashion for the next 5 to 6 years. We'll see what kind of happens after that. People usually have a 10-year phase. I hope that someone like Phoebe is going to be a Rei Kawakubo and will stay relevant for many years to come. Well, that's my take on Phoebe Philo. Look her up. Take a look at the Celine collection. Always follow the Celine collection. I think it's one of the most influential collections in the world because of Phoebe. And yeah, pay attention. I mean, the whole idea behind this biography series is that, you know, fashion brands aren't brands. They're the people behind the brands. And so I want you guys to start paying attention to who are the people who are the most influential in the world and in the world of fashion. And then usually fashion influences pop culture and vice versa. So pay attention to Phoebe Philo, and I'll see you guys in the next bio series. Check you later.